Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Local. My name is Justin Blankenship and today I'll be interviewing A Story Told from Charleston, West Virginia. Before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. You can visit us online at patreon.com/letstalklocalwv to donate and get access to exclusive content and rewards. Today we'd like to thank Rose Johnson and Patrick Montgomery. We also have a special announcement today. We've joined forces with A Story Told to help them promote their first hometown show since 2016. So on Friday, August 3rd, you can catch A Story Told at the Bakery in Charleston, West Virginia. Tickets are on sale now. Just visit Let's Talk Local on Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this episode. I did not mean to put this much pressure on you.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm sitting here with A Story Told. Kinda. Two members.
Yeah, 2/5.
Fraction.
Not everybody lives close, so gonna have to deal with that today, but
Deal with it.
Yeah.
deal with it. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
I'm Alex Cheney, and I sing for A Story Told.
I'm Josh, and I play guitar for A Story Told.
Yeah.
Introduce everybody else too.
Yeah. We talk shit about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so
In loving memory.
in loving memory. Yeah, we'll play some. What? Jason, he plays guitar for us. He actually lives in Columbus, Ohio. He's probably, we're all kind of spread out. We're not all, I guess, really in Charleston. We're kind of all over the place. But yeah, Jason, he plays guitar. He's in Columbus. Casey Hardman, he plays drums, and he lives in Parkersburg. But I think he's at the beach right now.
Yeah.
He's in a better place right now.
Bills.
And then Zach is our bass player. He lives in St. Albans, and he is cooking dinner right now.
Yeah.
So
In the middle of dinner.
yeah, so
Can't abandon your family.
right.
I get you.
Your family is your vegetables and meat.
The meat and potatoes.
Yeah, and the potatoes. You can't leave them
Yeah.
behind.
All right, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Thanks for not coming.
In loving memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing I always like to do, I like to ask a couple questions. So first off, if you guys could collaborate with anybody ever, who would it be?
Tom DeLong.
Ryan Tedder.
It was quick.
Yeah.
Those are the quickest answers I've ever
Yeah.
had. Why though?
You know, I guess like at the heart of it, we're like a pop rock band.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely all grew up in like the Warped Tour scene, like the late '90s pop punk. So like Blink-182 is like a huge influence on us. But we also like to emphasize the pop part of pop rock. You know, bands like Alex said, like One Republic, Taylor Swift. You know, just really good pop artists we like adore. So yeah, we've always strived to kind of like, you know, meet somewhere in the middle between it. And I think that's kind of like almost what makes us, you know, unique or, you know, stand out.
Our
among,
sound.
Yeah. It's definitely a, you know, blend of this pop punk and this total pop sound. So yeah, that's why we would pick them, I think.
Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah. Those are the bands we've kind of like, I guess, like Ryan Tedder for me, like that One Republic's first record I heard, I think in 2008. And I was still in high school. And I was like involved in music and stuff like that, but I'd never like considered like writing music or anything like that. And so, you know, you just find that band that like, and the songs that really mean something to you and will forever mean something to you that like gave you your purpose in what you do. So fortunate for us, we've kind of clung with that. And I think that the combination, like Josh and I's influence as writing our songs, it works out, mixing both. So
Nice.
yeah.
Also Mason Ramsey.
Yeah. Jesus. We should stop it.
Yeah.
All right. What's some music that you guys listen to that people wouldn't expect you to listen to from listening to A Story Told?
You can have your
He's breaking out the iTunes and the Spotify.
Should I do that?
Yeah. Since you can cut it up. I was really into Fleet Foxes there for a minute.
Yeah.
Not always like country. Not
Really?
always. But
What kind of country?
Sometimes I get turned on to some country. I don't know. I grew up on this country record because I think whenever we talk about like musical influences, I don't have like a lot of like old rooted ones. Like I have like an Amy Grant record my mom was really into because they weren't like really into like my dad was really into Pink Floyd and Yes and stuff like that. but there was just like one country record, and I still have it. Like I bought it's by an artist, Robert Ellis Orrell, and I don't think he was even that big.
He wasn't.
Yeah, but I like found the CD on eBay and we like keep it in the van. And
Nice.
everybody hates me when I play it, but you know, so I like a little bit of country.
Yeah.
New country's kind of like too much. You know?
Yeah.
We like Dan and Shay. That's kind of country.
Yeah, that's
country
kind of
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think of, like, I don't know. Obviously, we've talked about like One Republic and Blink and Taylor Swift and like, Third Eye Blind. I feel like you can hear all those influences in our music.
Yeah.
I don't.
We have any surprises?
Any surprises? I don't know. Like recently, like Code Orange. I feel like you wouldn't hear any influences
Yeah.
in our music with that.
Definitely not.
I don't know. I just feel like we listen to like anything and everything and like enjoy it. Like baby metal and just like
we were really into
anything.
baby metal there
Really?
for like a hot second. Yeah. Just because it's like so fucking
Dude,
crazy.
there's this-
It's just like nuts.
So you guys mentioned growing up on Warped Tour and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys played Warped Tour.
We played it twice, which was a lot of fun.
What was that like going from growing up with Warped Tour and then being able to play Warped Tour?
It was like really surreal. I think we first played it in 2015, and we played just like a really, really small like side stage kind of deal. But it was a stage that I had gone, to Warped Tours previously and saw like bands like Cartel on that stage, bands like Mayday Parade, even like locals like Scenes from a Movie. I saw them on that stage, so to like play it was like surreal. I always remembered like the huge line to get in, and like when we get there we just like walk past the whole line, and I don't know, it's just we were able to get into the venue before people were in there, so we saw like the whole like setup process with all these stages, all these tents getting built before doors opened, so it was so cool to see like the behind the scenes stuff, Warped Tour's due to our hearts, and to be able to play, it was just like a huge honor. Then 2016 we actually played like main stage, like it was like right before like Real Friends played, and it was
And
just
then
like
on the other stage, or like
Newfound Glory was
Newfound
playing.
Glory was playing right after. It was just very weird.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Incredible experience. We're sad to see it go. Crazy.
So you guys have recorded a few things. You guys had 2 EPs, right?
Yes.
And then a bunch of singles, and then a couple full lengths.
I guess we kind of started with like an acoustic EP like way back in the day, and then we put out like a proper EP which had I think 6 songs on it, and then we've done like a few cover songs, to kind of like fill in the gaps between like album cycles. But then we've had like 2 full lengths since this whole thing has started. Just kind of insane. We've worked hard.
Definitely. Where did you guys get your inspiration from for the band and the sound and everything when you guys started out?
I guess when we started out, I think it was always, the goal was always to go like more poppy than anything at the time. I feel like when we started, bands like Real Friends and like Knuckle Puck and these really pop punk bands were really like breaking out, and we love that stuff, and we love those bands, but we still just like we're so like set on being like melody driven and try to go more poppy. So that was kind of like the goal when we started the band. I think I don't think it was until like like the EPs, I think it was a lot of like trial and error stuff to get to like Keep Watch, which was like our first full length, to really find out like what we wanted to sound like. And
it's really like just been a process of like,
yeah,
it's always been like, okay, let's just do it. Like,
Yeah.
this is like let's just write, let's just do whatever comes out, or like what we're feeling at the time. And I think that really just trial and error, it's
Right.
kind of like brought us to where we are.
right. And I think like the latest record is just like a refinement of. I think we finally figured out like what we wanted to do, and figured out how we accomplished that. And I think like the last record is probably like the best representation of like how we've always seen this thing going and like what we want to be.
And then after the next album comes out, you probably say the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like that last album was trash. We
Yeah.
did it. We.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So the new album, it's dope.
Thank you.
Like you said,
Thank you.
Kind of where you guys have been building to. So what's the most meaningful song to you individually on this new album?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like seriously, like the songs we kind of like wear our hearts on our sleeves, and it really is just like what we were feeling at the time, and it like the lyrics are just like so honest that it's really hard to pick a song that means the most. Trying to go through the songs.
No. There were definitely like no, at least for me, like writing lyrics and melodies, there was no like throwaway track or like I'm just gonna like piece together like parts of little things I wrote. But definitely, I don't know about you, I'm kind of sick of it right now. Even though like we wrote it, it's like one of our biggest songs, Feel Bad.
I was going to say that too, but I didn't know if that was too cliche.
No, because that song came at a time of frustration. Like we had written, I think, 3 or 4 songs for the record up to that point, and it's just like it almost felt like we were trying too hard. You know, it's like, well, we want to do another full length. This is what we decided we were going to do. And you know, creative process isn't always like, okay, I'm going to be creative and write an album now, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do it. I want to do 2 hours on this song, and I'm going to be super successful within those 2 hours. You know, it just doesn't work like that. And
especially not if you want good, meaningful
right,
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And Feel Bad really was just like, okay, like we just need to like chill out and sit down and just like wipe our mind. And I think that was kind of the result of that. So I would say Feel Bad's definitely like a hit home track. Dreaming Again's always been one of my favorites. And but like I said, all the songs just like collectively kind of said everything we wanted to. So.
Right. I think, with our albums, I think there's always like an underlying theme. Like I think Keep Watch is more like relationship based, and Good Looks is more, I don't know, like I feel like the whole thing was really like influenced by like frustration with like, how the world's going, how our band's going, just like the music world, just like the social media world, just all these frustrations with everything going on around us, like thrown into a CD, like really what we were feeling at that time. So, like I think collectively these songs are just like at the root of it, it's just like one theme. And, I think every time we have these themes, I think it's really like dear to our hearts, and, we really believe in what we're saying. But, I think Feel Bad is a song that kind of like encompasses everything what the record's about. I think songs like Feel Bad, even like 99 Bends, and then, Dreaming Again, I feel like all those songs are, just encompass what the record was about and like what we were trying to say and stuff.
It's funny with Feel Bad, it wasn't like an attempt to write a inspirational cookie cutter song,
Right.
It really was just what came out.
I think that's like why people are really like attaching to it, because it truly is honest and like straight to the point, and I do feel like people feel the pressures of society. It's a good blow off some steam song, just like forget about everything that's going on, get in your car, crank that song off, and just like sing to it.
For real. Yeah.
As like cliche and as that sounds, but
my 2 favorites on the album are back to back. They're 99 Bends and Hit and Run.
Nice.
Cool. Like 99 Bends actually had a different, like, when we wrote the demo, it was just kind of like high energy the whole time, and we were really like trying to figure out how to finish the song. So then we just tried something different, like dropping everything out and like getting our statement out and then bringing it back up. Yeah, I think 99 Bends is one of my favorite, and I think it's a fan favorite too. It's fun, and the lyrics are pretty, I don't know, like to the point and honest, and just so much frustration just like thrown into a song, and I think you can like feel that energy in it. And Alex kind of like took point on that song.
Yeah.
What?
Said I don't really know how to describe it. Yeah, a lot of our songwriting process starts with like, Josh writing instrumental, and then it could be like just very basic chord progression where you could have like almost full song ready, and I kind of wrote right over top of it. But I think like Hit and Run and Teenage Horror, it was a really different process for us because I kind of started with music too, and so we kind of had to build on it from there. Yeah, so Hit and Run, it's definitely similar like frustration, and Hit and Run had a lot of just like, I think there was a lot of more like relationship involved in Hit and Run. You know, it had a lot of influence, things that happened with the inspiration behind Keep Watch. So, yeah.
I was gonna say who is on the spoken word part on that, but I don't want to ruin it for people.
Yeah, well, it's funny. So the entire Keep Watch album was about a relationship that I went through. So it's, I think in the process of like writing music, Keep Watch was such a, when it was like finally said and done, it was so satisfying for all of us. But, you know, for me especially, because like I was able to like pour so much of what I was feeling into something. And it's like now I have something like substantial, like physical, I can like say that I got to say what I wanted to. It's almost like you get the final word in a way. And so it was so funny. I had this voicemail from this person that I was with. And it was funny, we talked about it, and I was like, well, I don't know if we can, like, actually put the voicemail in. Like, I don't want it to, like, come back and, like, bite us in the ass or something like that.
Yeah, like, lawsuit.
Yeah. So, but it's, like, word for word. And here's Josh's sister, actually.
Yeah,
she said it.
Yeah, she recreated the voicemail.
Yeah.
So it won't actually come back on you.
Yeah, I was not dating this.
Yeah, no, I get you. My favorite song from that album was Weather, though.
Okay.
Weather.
We get that, mostly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It actually wasn't supposed to be on the record. We actually had we wanted to do like a slower acoustic song.
Yeah.
And like, I hated like the demo for that song.
Yeah, Jason wrote the song.
Yeah.
And then we tried, it was one of the first songs we like tried to like actually figure out, and it was like, it had this big build up at the end, and it was just like.
It was full band.
Yeah.
And then we eventually.
We're not feeling it.
Yeah. So we like, the recording process went on and on and on. And then just like, I feel like one day I had this idea, like, let's just try to like strip it down completely. Because I like loved the melodies. I loved the lyrics. I felt like it was super emotional and like people would really, really enjoy it. And I was like, it's got to get on the record somehow. So it was like one of the last songs we did, do it on last minute. And it was just completely stripped down. And Alex had the idea about like having a female sing on it, which people ask us all the time who the female on the track is.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of our friends that we thought had an amazing voice. She had never really done anything like that before, but totally killed it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people love that song,
Yeah.
Which is super cool. I think it's like our top played song, which I'm sure like I was saying, Jason like wrote a lot of it, and he was like, oh, it's just not that good.
Right.
And so it's kind of like, see, dude, people like
you should write more songs.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool.
So this album's been out for a minute. You guys are working on some new stuff, right?
Just now.
Yeah. It's crazy that people's like attention spans are so small these days. Because like you said, it's like the record had Good Looks came out 6 or 7 months ago. It's like really not that long. But I think people are like hungry for more already, and I think we're hungry for to put out something new as well. So yeah, we've been writing a little bit, hoping to get out some stuff soon. But, I feel like we have 2 full lengths out now. So I think in the future we're just gonna kind of like put out music when we feel like the time is right, and not really I don't feel like we're feeling any pressure on like what to do or how to do it. It's just like I think we're gonna really just go with like our gut feeling on if we think we have a good song, like let's record it, let's get it out.
Definitely.
And I kind of think we have that feeling right now, so stay tuned.
And are you guys touring anymore?
Yeah, we are. We're going south this summer. Last fall we did a lot of Northeast stuff, and this past spring we did a lot of Midwest. So we're going south in July. We'll be hitting like Atlanta, Florida, all those states down there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're doing emo night next month.
I saw that. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's cool.
which will be fun.
Yeah. So, what are your favorite things about touring?
don't have to be, well, I was going to say don't have to be anywhere for anybody, but you kind of do.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's just a lot of freedom, you know, just like 9 to 5 is so exhausting. And, you know, it's everybody, like every musician's dream, I think, to like be able to play full time. So, you know, for us, that's like our little like window of just like, you know, this is what it would feel, you know, being able to do it full time. You know, it's just like we go play a show to people that care and, you know, we have the time of our lives performing. You know, it's just like
obviously else. The show is like, you know,
right.
We love the show aspect of it.
Right, and then like the amazing thing, you know, we go to wherever we're staying the night and we wake up to do it all over again. You know, and I think when we first did our first 10-day tour, our 10-day run, we were kind of like unsure of how the chemistry and like how everybody was going to be, you know, because it's easy, like on a weekend, it's not that bad, you know, 3 days, everybody's used to that. But for us, just like the chemistry between the 5 of us, like we just have a good time. We're always like bummed when it's over, you know, it's just always a good time, honestly.
Right, guys?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, like, you know, it's our opportunity to get out there and, you know, meet the people that we like interact with online. And, you know, at this point we have so many friends and, you know, at this point, like a lot of fans are now our friends, just to go to like city to city and just like hang out with all these people. It's just like, it's so cool.
And people care like several hours away. And, like,
right. It's so surreal.
Chicago and anywhere.
Yeah, we like one of the last dates of our last tour, we played like Pittsburgh, and we had just played the V Club the night before in Huntington, and you know it's hard to be gone for like, you know, like a week and then come home and like play a show, and
go back up to Pittsburgh.
Then have to go back out because you're kind of like, okay, I'm home, but you're not really home. You got to go do like one more show, and so we were all kind of just like, you know, like let's just kind of get it over with, you know, like we'll go get the show over with and come back home. But it just turned out to be like one of like the best shows. We had so many people there that were there for us, and it was just like
it was like
overwhelming. It was like the first time people were like, you know, like Alex would like walk around the venue and be like, random people would just like say his name, and I don't know, it's just like so surreal. And it turned out to be like one of the like the best shows on tour.
It's very cool.
So yeah, just like, you know, finally interacting face to face with people that actually care and, you know, support and invest in what you're doing, and it's cool to, you know, experience that. So, but yeah, like Alex was saying, just like the spontaneity that comes with like touring. Like most of the time, you're like traveling like roads you've never driven before. You're staying in places you've never, you know, stayed before, eating places you've never eaten before. It's just like, you know, it's so like refreshing after you know, you spend most of your life like, you know, you live in the same place and you drive to work, you do the same thing every single day, just to like change it up. I think it's so good, like mentally.
And I was going to say that too about the fans, you know, just going and connecting with them. In those cities. And like we talked about when like people catch us off guard and we sometimes are rude or something like that. But especially at shows, I mean, it's just like, it's hard to get anybody to give a shit about anything these days. So like you go play several hours away and like, people give a shit about you and they paid money to be there to see you and they're buying, you know, it's a big deal, you know? And I get, you know, for us, there are no rock star egos, you know, we're just like, it's not a given. And, you know, they deserve the appreciation because without them, like, you know, you're not able to do what you're doing. You're just not.
Right. So I don't think it's ever a casual thing for us either. You know, I think we take it very seriously. Like I was saying, people like paying money, like, investing their time to, you know, come out and support, you know, what we believe in. We want to give them, like, you know, the best experience, like, we can. So, yeah. Definitely. Touring's awesome.
So, you guys have been around for a while and you've had plenty of shows, but what is, like, your favorite moment ever as a band from a show? Or the worst moment ever that's a really great story or really funny or something.
It's all sucked. No. I think my go-to is always like Warped Tour 2016. I know that was kind of a while ago. That was definitely a highlight, you know, playing main stage and the whole experience. We played like right when doors opened, So really, there weren't like many people when we first started. But it was kind of like one of those things, like, it kept on growing as the set went on. It was just kind of like surreal that, like, we sounded like, I guess, decent enough where people like wanted to like stay and like, people came over to check things out. I think every hometown show is like so much fun. We play like the V Club in Huntington maybe once or twice a year. Seeing like friends and family and like people that have been there from the beginning that are still with us. It's like, super awesome that they still like care and you like want to invest and, want to see us succeed. I think those are like highlights for me.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw you guys was at Live on the Levee.
Oh, wow.
So
that was an experience.
Yeah.
A strange experience.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a different thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah. We're not like the perfect Levee band, which is okay.
Yeah.
But it was still great both times we played.
Yeah, I think obviously like growing up in Charleston or whatever, playing that stage is like a goal for ours. So when we finally got the email that we were doing it, like first year we were opening, like the second year we were headlining, we were just super like happy about the experience. I think I mentioned it earlier, like we never really take anything like lightly. We were always like, super humble for any like opportunity like that. And, to finally play like the biggest stage in our hometown, it was like such an awesome thing. But it was a weird experience just because you have like, any type of person is there, there's the demographic is, it's not your typical show.
Right. We learned a ton of covers because, you want to appeal to. What was the song we played? Boys of Summer.
Yeah. I guess it's Don Henley, but we did like the Atari's version.
Right. So it's like, learned all those covers for one show, but, it was still a good experience and good. Yeah.
How often do you guys get people just walking up to you because they know your music and not because they know you personally?
I feel like Alex gets it more. I think you have a lot of stories where people have like come up to you and like the way he explains it, he's always like caught off guard because we
live here.
And
we've
exactly
always lived here. So
and I don't think we'll ever be like fully
comfortable with it.
Yeah, we don't really know like how many people have heard our band or you can look at like like the numbers and stuff like that, but still just we're just some normal guys. So when people like come up to us and start talking about the band who don't even know us, it's kind of weird. So I think Alex has been like borderline rude to people. He just got like thanks.
Yeah. I don't really know. Yeah.
It's
just
it's awkward.
Right. Like so many times I've been like with my family too.
We were like up in Columbus recently, just like going to a show. We had some friends that were in town, and we just like wanted to go up and catch the show or whatever.
Quite a few people
like came up to us and like recognized us, and we were just it was kind of weird. We were like taking pictures with people, and it wasn't even like our show.
Yeah.
So it's super cool and like super humbling, but we just don't really expect it, and so it really does throw us off guard.
No matter how we act, we are super appreciative.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel like the rude thing that I was referencing was, I think it was Ben from Homesick. Was it Ben from Homesick?
Yeah, that was like
way before
like
Homesick was a thing, and
Yeah.
like we even like really knew Ben because
Right.
we're like good friends with Ben and those guys now.
and especially in 2014, that like never happened. So I was
Yeah.
just like, thanks.
Yeah, it
And
was
then I just
super
walked
weird.
out the door.
Yeah, that's all you said.
And I was like, oh
thanks.
man, I really feel like I did. Yeah. But it's all good.
I feel like sometimes people come up and are like, you look super familiar. Like, how do I know you?
Yeah, like
And
you don't
well,
look
I
familiar.
play in a band. And,
Yeah.
So then things start. I think it's weird now with like social media, and you see all these people,
and that's it.
and you know who they are, but you've never talked to them. So it's like, what do I do? Do I say something? Like when you actually do see them in
Yeah.
person, do you say something? Because like
Because I don't
you're
actually
well
know
aware of
them.
them, but you're like, wait, they probably don't know who I am. But
Yeah.
social media is weird.
It is.
I think a lot of people around here are shy for some reason too,
Yeah.
which makes it even more awkward.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone should just love everyone,
Right. Yeah.
I guess.
I would say mine. Warped Tour is definitely up there, but so much of it's a blur. It's just like, it's all happening at once and trying to soak in as much as you can. I think for me it was like holding the physical copy of the vinyl of Good Looks, because especially writing this album, just the process, it was so, it took a lot out of us,
Yeah.
we don't really care too much to say like, well, we worked so hard for this and blah, 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 but like, we all still work like 9 to 5 jobs, and for months and months and months, it was just like we would work and then come home and do that, and that's what it constantly was, and still so much of our band is DIY, but giving up time with your friends and your family while, especially around here, like they're moving on with their lives, they're getting married, they're starting families, because that's what everybody seems to do around here, just because there's not a lot of pop culture and just this notion of like being more career driven. And so we were just giving up all that, and there were just so many rough times, and knowing all the hard work we put into it, from the music to getting all like the press ready and the tour ready. We left for tour the day after the album came out, or the day of.
The day of the record.
So it was just like, and the vinyl came one of the days on tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say we left on tour for the day the record came out, and we get to Cleveland, and I'm like, Alex, where are the CDs? And Alex totally left the new record like at home. So we did like half the tour without like the record that we were touring
We're just
on.
leaving that part out.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah. But
sorry
like,
to interrupt.
No, you're fine. But holding like a physical copy, it's like we made this, and there's just nothing like it.
Definitely.
So knowing all the hard work and just like all the really like shitty times that we went through for it, and it was all worth it. Yeah, that's when you like realize this is worth it.
I feel like I've definitely had those. You get like those masters back, and it's just like I don't care if like one person hears this or like a million people hear this. Like, like we did it, that feeling like we did something and like super proud of, and nobody can like take that away from you. So yeah, those moments are definitely really, really cool.
For sure. Do you guys have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, definitely catch us like on tour in July. I think we're starting in Richmond and going down to Florida,
Orlando, St. Louis,
yeah,
Cleveland, Columbus.
So if you're out of town, but then we're planning on doing a big hometown show. Yeah, we want to, it's always good to get out there on the road and then come back and celebrate with a hometown show. So we're definitely going to do that.
Oh yeah.
I always like to ask everyone, do you guys have any advice for people starting bands, especially like the kids out there that want to start a band, that don't know what they're doing yet?
I would say definitely just, you got to start somewhere, just do it. Just do it. Don't really pay attention to what's, popular around you at the time, because if you try to be something you're not, it's not worth it. Be who you are, do what you want to do it honestly, and, things will come to you. Be consistent and always be willing to learn and grow, and things will happen. I think we're like a good example of just 5 normal guys with normal lives that have had somewhat success with this dream that we've had. We've really not done anything special except for believed in what we were doing and just being consistent. You're like, bad answer, dude.
Yeah. Sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing. Just don't look too far into like what everybody else is doing, because it's easy to just get discouraged and think that you're not as good as everyone else. And now with social media and stuff, it's very easy to get discouraged and never end up doing what you wanted to because somebody else is doing it better. Everybody starts somewhere, and our first show was at a community center. We went through years of opening the show. That's just how it goes. You gotta earn your place and be consistent, and most importantly, just have fun at what you're doing, because that's when it's all said and done. That's what matters. So.
Right. Yeah. I guess since this is like a local, West Virginia based podcast. I just want to stress the importance of being involved with your community and supporting those supporting all the creatives in your community. It really takes like a village to make something happen, and I do think there's like so much talent in the area that if everybody just like comes together, I think this place, it is and can become something very, very special. And it starts with the creative community within. I think, it's always important to support others that are trying to do the same thing as you. Because it may sound different, it may look different, but at the root of it, it's the same. Everybody has the same dream.
Trying to accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, and it's just so much more powerful if everybody, supports each other. So I know that really has nothing to do with our band, but I think that's something that we, our band strives for. All we've ever really wanted to do is put this place on the map, and build a community of people and bands and creatives. And I hope people understand that and see the importance of like being involved, and that it is important to come out to shows. If you're not playing the show, it's still important to come out to the show. And just support your friends, and it's not a competition, it's a community, and you just get involved. Support local music.
For sure. So tell everyone where to find you.
All of our socials are at The Story Told Band. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. You can listen to our music on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We're all over the internet. We're on Wikipedia too.
Are you actually?
Yeah. We have a Wikipedia page. Yeah.
Did you make it?
No. Somebody made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought you couldn't make your own Wikipedia page. Is that true?
I have no idea.
That's what I always thought. Yeah. Sorry, that was a way going down a path we don't want to go.
No, you're good.
Into just to find a place where we could get into too much trouble. We were living on the double. We never stopped to think if we should get into. We grew apart, but it was so clear I missed you. But it was too much trouble. We grew apart, but it was so clear I missed you.